Mr. Vice Chairman, sir, I would like to make a mention of some of the problems of the workers in general and those of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in particular. Sir, in the first place, I would like to state that the railway administration does not provide the workers a speedy and efficacious remedy against their grievances. If a worker is demoted, he has to go to the High Court after appealing to the executive authority. If a worker is suspended, he has to go to the executive authority in appeal and then to the High Court. If he is removed or suspended from service, he has first to go to the executive authority and ultimately a right is administered to him to go to the High Court. The result is that if a worker is dismissed from service, even though his dismissal is not proper or wrongful, he will not get the relief unless he goes through this channel or appealing to the zonal authority, then to the labor board, and ultimately referring the matter to the High Court and lastly the Supreme Court. The result is that in a case where the judicial authority holds the termination illegal and improper, the railway authorities are required to pay back the entire wages. It is all right that we have removed and dismissed a large number of workers. I think they are in thousands. What is the outcome of this? The outcome would be that there will be a large number of cases in the High Courts and the Supreme Court. Ultimately, it would be seen that even if 1/4 of the workers get leave of reinstatement and back wages, the railway administration will be required to pay to the tune of crores of rupees by way of back wages, and therefore the time has come when we have to consider afresh as to how our industrial relations should be. Sir, my friend has very rightly pointed out that under the industrial law, a worker can certainly, after dismissal, go to the court immediately and get his case adjudicated. That form is available and that remedy is available. But that is not so in the railways, and I cannot understand what difficulty there could be if you provided a forum for speedy and efficacious remedy. Then the worker will also understand that his case is being judiciously scrutinized, and he will feel that he has no case and he will not proceed ahead. But when he spends 1 year or 2 years before the adjudicating authority, he knows that the Honorable Minister would also agree with me that by and large the tendency is to uphold the order of the lower authorities, howsoever wrong, illegal, improper and malified that order may be. That is the tendency, and ultimately when a judicial scrutiny is held, that order is set aside and the result is colossal loss which the railways are called upon to bear on account of their wrong policies. Therefore, my suggestion would be that it is high time to consider that the railway administration gave every worker a forum where he can seek the redress of his grievances without much time being consumed in between, and in that way it will be beneficial both to the workers and to the railway administration, and therefore this should be done. This is one of my suggestions. Secondly, sir, even though the railway administration has now taken a decision that all those who had participated in the strike but were not responsible for any sort of violent activity or sabotage or intimidation should be taken back in employment, I can say without being contradicted now that there are today hundreds of workers who have been removed from work and there is no charge against them, and that they have not done anything that without would amount to limitation or anything that would amount to doing something violent or involving violent action, but still they have not taken in employment. I have myself represented some of the cases. I cannot understand why they have not been taken in employment, and therefore in all such cases there has been inordinate delay in taking them back. The railway board should now examine and find out who is responsible for the delay in the disposal of these cases. That is the responsibility of the railway board and of the general managers or the zonal managers or the divisional managers, whosoever were entrusted with the work of supervising the cases and taking appropriate action. And if they have committed lapses, they should be dealt with so that such a delay on the part of the railway administration would not be rejected. Then I may point out that in respect of the scheduled caste there has been discrimination. If an inquiry is held, it would be seen that the scheduled caste employees have been discriminated against. They were removed from service though they did not participate in the strike or any violent activity.